Well, good morning folks, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another review video. It's another payware airport in yet another beautiful location. We are at Tromso International Airport in Norway, Echo November Tango Charlie. This is a payware scenery by M Simulations. The download is quite large, 3.2 gigabytes, and it installs at 8.3 gigabytes, so it's fairly large scenery area here. It's available from Orbix or from SimMarket. Let's look at some prices. If you buy it from SimMarket, currently it's priced at €22.80, which equates to $24.63 US, or £18.92 UK, and those prices include VAT or tax, which will of course vary depending on your country of purchase. It's available from SimMarket and from Orbix. So the Orbix price is slightly higher. It comes in at €22.84 or $24.67, £18.96, but we're talking literally pence and cents here. Again, those prices include VAT, tax, which will depend on your country of purchase. So available from SimMarket or Orbix, just a slightly, very slightly more expensive on Orbix, but not so much. So scenery by M Simulations. I've had a look around here, and I've had a look on the charts. There seems to be an anomaly or an issue with the terminal here. There's a piece, according to the charts, there's a piece missing, but according to pictures I've looked at, there's a piece there that was there that isn't there now, and this may be due to a terminal upgrade. I'll show you some pictures in a minute when we get down and have a close look. But first of all, let's go and have a look at let's start with a bit of history for you. Okay, so Tromso International Airport, Echo November Tango Charlie, is an international airport located at Langnes in the city of Tromso on the northwest coast of Norway. Situated on the western shore of the island of Tromsøya, the airport is owned and operated by the state-owned company Avinor, and you'll see signs around the airport when we have a look. The airport opened in September 1964, replacing the old airport Skatora, which was a water aerodrome. Tromso became, and still is, the main hub for Wildero, the regional airline with flights to Finnmark. Main flights to other primary airports were operated by Scandinavian Airlines SAS. Brathens, SAFE, and its subsidiary Busy Bee operated from Tromso from 1967 to 2002. The Norwegian Air Shuttle Airlines has also flown from Langnes since 1992, although based on the airport. Lufttransport, a Norwegian helicopter and fixed-wing airline that operates primarily air ambulance helicopters and planes for the Norwegian and Swedish governments. In addition, this airline services including surveillance for the Norwegian Coast Guard, transport of ship pilots, and scheduled air transport in the Norwegian territory of Svalbard. Lufttransport operates 10 helicopters and 14 fixed-wing aircraft and has headquarters in Tromso. So Tromso Airport was first established in the 1930s and was served by the Norwegian Airlines. During World War II, the airport was taken over by German Luftwaffe and the aerodrome was expanded. A new seaplane route was established by Norwegian Airlines in 1946 with a daily service to Trondheim using a Junkers Ju-52 aircraft, which after a few months was extended northwards to Kirkenes. Operation of the water aerodrome was taken over from the Royal Norwegian Air Force by the municipalities of Tromso and Tromsøyund. They built a new wharf and a new terminal building, operated it as a joint venture on a per capita basis. From 1947, the larger and faster short Sandringham flying boat was introduced on the route, and a direct service to Oslo was introduced, allowing a travel time of 8 hours. Ultimately, however, the Sandringham flying boats would all be written off in accidents. With the opening of Bodø Airport in 1952, the Junkers Ju-52 was again put into good use. This lasted until 1956, when Bundafoss Airport opened and the passengers from Tromso were transported there by bus, which is a journey of around 85 miles or 140 kilometers. The Norwegian Civil Aviation Authority stated in 1950 that Tromso, as northern Norway's largest town, should have an airfield. In 1953, Parliament decided to approve the construction of a new airport at Langnes. A meeting in the Chamber of Commerce in January 1955 resulted in a committee being established to lobby properly for a decent purpose-built airfield. This was followed up with the municipality borrowing 350,000 Norwegian kroner to expropriate the area. Initial plans for Langnes were for a 4,600 foot runway, or 1,400 meters, but this would not allow largest aircraft to land, so local politicians therefore started lobbying national politicians for a 5,200 foot runway, or 1,600 meters, to be built. After this had been passed, a new lobby campaign was established for a 6,600 foot runway, or 2,000 meters, which ultimately was the final choice. Parliament approved the airport and the necessary funding in 1962, and construction started the following year with a company called Selma as the main contractor. By then it was decided that the runway would measure 7,090 feet, or 2,160 meters, including overruns at each end. This allowed SAS to operate the new Sud Aviation Caravelle into Tromso. The current Terminal B was built in 1977, Terminal A opened in 1997, following a period with a 240 metre or 790 foot runway extension yet again, and a new control tower. Currently some 13 airlines operate into and out of Tromso, including Wizz Air, Lufthansa, Finnair and Wildero. In 2014 the airport handled over 1.9 million passengers, 43,000 aircraft movements and over 2.7 tons of cargo. This makes Tromso the 5th busiest airport in the country. So runways, as you can see, we'll drop the lighting down to have a better look at the runway lighting situation. So with the various upgrades and extensions, Tromso Airport operates a single runway, 1836, which is now 8,041 feet or 2,451 meters long and is made from asphalt. Both ends of the runway feature the standard instrument landing system options, with RNP approach options also available. And both ends of the runway feature high-intensity airfield lighting system and precision approach path indicators, or PAPIs, at 2 bars on both sides of the runway, as you can see here. The runway also has centerline lighting, again you can see that there, and it's also got runway end identifier lights. And the runway is fully grooved all the way down. And lastly, if the visibility on the airport drops to 1,800 feet or 550 meters, then low visibility procedures are enforced and no aircraft operations are permitted. So we're looking down the throat of runway 36 at the moment towards the north. We'll pop up and have a quick look at the other end just to check that the lighting is the same. And here we are looking towards the south, runway 18, and as you can see the lighting is exactly the same. So once again, thankfully this airport's been done with the as per the charts, with the approach lighting and the runway lighting absolutely correct. So there you go, that's some of the history of this airport. It's obviously been around a long time. Now before we go down any further and have a look at it close up, I just want to point out an anomaly or something I don't quite understand here. Here is the terminal. Now, according to the charts, or the latest charts I can find, and some various pictures which I'll put up here in a moment, there's an ARC building attached to this terminal in the real world. Now I'm assuming that Simulations know what they're doing, and they've obviously built this airport as it stands at the moment. So either this ARC bit was removed or what, I'm not sure, but I'm going to put up a couple of pictures up in the top right hand corner that show the airport with the ARC and without the ARC, and also the latest charts. Obviously one is Navigraph, which is dated March 21, and the other one is from the Norwegian AIP, which is dated September 2020. Both of these show the ARC part on the terminal, which is missing from the scenery. So either the airport terminal's been updated and that bit's been removed, or there's an error in the scenery, but I can't find any charts newer than March 2021. So there we go. Maybe we can investigate that, or if any of you live near Tromso or know this airport well, perhaps you might be able to explain to me in the comments what this anomaly problem is. So having thrown that little curveball out, let's get down and dirty to the airport here and have a close look at what we've got. Again, another airport in a beautiful location. Lots of work been done on this. Internal work on the terminal with animated passengers looks really, really good. So let's go down and have a close look. So up near the threshold of runway 36 there, you can see the tunnel that goes under the runway. Actually, the tunnel is actually not modelled, but you can see the traffic going in and out of it. And here you can see the seawall on which the lighting system is built, and the runway overrun is also built here. And all of this is really very nicely done. Really, really nice. So we take a slow pan towards the terminal area. There you can see the fence line, and the roads look really good. You can also see some stuttering there. Now I've defragged my drive, so there shouldn't really be much in the way of stuttering, but there is a little bit. But as you can see, it looks really lovely. Lots of models. Building modelling looks great. Control tower there, I can tell you the control tower has internal modelling. We'll look at it in a minute. And the tarmac here, the whole area just has a certain atmosphere about it. It looks really nice. Just going out towards the far end of the runway. Here you've got the displaced threshold to the right there. And again, here's the runway overrun, which is helpful. And all of this is beautifully done. Just looks great. So again, just another high level pan so you can have a look at that beautiful bridge. And just look at the scenery here in the area. There's lots of work that's been done. The modelling is great. And I can probably see why there's such a big file, because they've added quite a lot here. I mean, that's a stunning bridge, beautifully done. And here at the other end of the bridge you can see just how beautiful this area is. And here, getting back to the airport, again you can see that coastline modelled very, very nicely. Buildings there fitting in nicely. It just looks lovely. It's very, very nice indeed. Car parks. And here the modelling on the other side of the airport here. It's very nice indeed. And just the whole place looks beautiful. There's an atmosphere about it that makes this a lovely airport. Okay, so let's look at some of the detail. Here you can see signage on the ramp looks quite good. The concrete looks pretty interesting here. I'm assuming that it is as per the real world, as the concrete colouring and everything is slightly different to what you would see normally. Again, a really nice quality of modelling with the building and the construction of the vehicles. Very, very nice models, really, really exceptional. I found this quite a lot around the airport, where the vehicles just aren't, some of the vehicles just aren't quite on the ground. They're slightly off because the elevation hasn't been taken into account. But it's not a huge issue. To be honest, it's just an anomaly and nothing more than that. But as you can see, there are one or two other little anomalies where you've got wheels missing, but essentially they look great. Modelling looks fine. As you can see, there's slight weathering on the buildings here, and it just looks very, very nice. Here you can see the fence line boundary, with the fence just as it should be, with the crank neck pointing out. This is an international security requirement, 2.9 metre high fence with a crank neck pointing out, stuck into concrete with a clearway either side. It's a standard airfield boundary fence. But again, the airfield just looks really nice. Fairly basic jetways there, they look okay, look quite nice. Again, you've got slight weathering here, which makes it look a little bit more realistic. So we're just inside one of the jetways, and as you can see, there's interior modelling in a jetway here. There's the left one here that goes into the terminal, and this is the one that goes into the aircraft. So just another close-up look at the terminal from airside there, just looking at the bits and pieces, the clutter, all looks okay. This is my aircraft. As far as I know, the jetways work too. So let's step inside the terminal and have a look at the animations and bits and pieces in there. First of all, just a quick bit of detail on the outside of the terminal here, and this is nicely done. Roadway looks good. The attachments on the terminal there with the doors on the lower end look great. So a couple of little shots now inside the terminal so you can see the inside of it and see what it looks like. And now a couple of views from outside on the landside part of the airport. As you can see, some lovely animations there. The flags look good. Again, the building is weathered. You've got air conditioning units sitting on the outside. Very good, well-defined fence line. So we're just going to do a slow pan landside first before we look into the departures area there on the left. As you can see, it looks really nice. You've got all of the sort of clutter you'd expect out here. This is the taxi rank. You can see beautifully inside the terminal. Got some animated people. The roads are really well defined. Signage is good. It's very crystal clear. It looks lovely, and looks even more spectacular at night as far as I know. Well, but we'll look at that shortly. And just a quick look further landside here out towards the road. Here's a petrol station, which has been nicely done. And more buildings. As we head in towards the car park, we'll look at the car models. Very nice. Can't see any issues with them. And again, the whole thing's really been nice, very, very nicely modelled. Okay, we've got some scenery popping there where the foliage pops up, but I think we can deal with that. So here we are tracking landside across the car park towards the Hertz area. Again, lots of good modelling, interesting bits and pieces. And here's another one of those little anomalies. Again, it's not really a huge problem, but it just hasn't been set properly onto the airfield elevation. There's some lovely fire engine and truck models, buildings there, beautifully identified. This has all been very, very nicely done. So while we're here, let's have a look inside the control tower. And there you are, there you can see it's nicely fully modelled there, even the display screens and animated people, and a lovely view from the tower. Very nice indeed, exceptional. So we check a little bit further across the ramp here, you can see some more vehicle clutter, bits and pieces. Babcock is a well-known construction firm, international construction firm. But everything looks really nicely modelled, very, very nice indeed. Okay, so here's the front of the building from landside. Let's step inside and look at the landside part of the internal development. So as you can see, it looks pretty stunning. All of the signage is really crisp and clear. Everything, even right down to what's on here. You've got the little cold drinks place, little restaurant there, little shop where you can buy stuff to eat. And once again we have passengers being checked in at the baggage drop and the check-in desk there. The whole thing looks really nice. It's very crisp and clear, it's accurate, and one of the things I do like is there doesn't seem to be too much in the way of model repetition. Lots of the passengers seem to be fairly unique. I haven't seen too many duplicates, which is also good. And look at the ceiling there. The construction of the ceiling, the way it's been modelled is really, really good. So again, you've got a baggage claim in this part of the terminal. Lots of signage, all of it crisp and clear, looks really good. All very impressive indeed. And once again we do a slow pass landside here. You can look at the signage and the roads and the airport name there on the building. It's really nice, it looks really nice. Very nicely modelled. So let's just go across the runway to the western side of the airfield and have a look at this work that's been done here. As you can see, buildings are really, really good, really exceptional quality. There's some photo scenery there below us, but nice modelling on the buildings here. Looks really nice. As you can see, the quality is just exceptional, very, very good. And actually the photo scenery is fairly sharp, so it works. Just looks really good. So there we go, you had a general look over the airport and the environment itself, and it's very, very nicely modelled. It looks really good. So let's lower the lighting now to dusk and have a look at the lighting on the airport generally. Okay, 9 PM local time. As you can see, we're in the far north, so generally the daylight stays longer during the spring and summer months, so you get a lot more light at this time of the evening. So as I said, 9 PM, we've just got dusk come down, and you can see we've got a little bit of lighting. There's also quite a lot of the areas that aren't lit, but let's get down and have a close look. So firstly, just tracking across the taxiway here, you can see green centerline lights and blue edge lights, which looks good. So looking towards the control tower, and we've got some lighting here. Here you can see the typical Asobo globes still sitting around, but apart from that we've got lights which are supplying light at the right area. Just very nice little subtle bits of lighting. Let's go in the tower while we're here. So here we are, just looking inside the tower from outside. As you can see, it's well lit, lighting's very good, and you still have our little operatives working themselves busy in there too. Looking out towards the road, some nice subtle lighting on the buildings there and the fence line. So we're just going to track across the landside car park here and come across the terminal. As you can see, the lighting's pretty good. It really does look nice. And you got the interior of the buildings lit that you can see from the outside. It's a very nice effect. So let's just go across into airside and have a look at this area here. Again, the lighting does look very pleasant. Let's just tack up towards the runway here while we're here. Again, as you can see, the markings are well visible. Green centerline lights, blue airfield edge lights. Runway marking signs are lit, nicely done. And the runway lighting itself looks great. So as you can see from this shot, the lighting on the airside ramp is quite minimal. There's not an awful lot of it. I mean, to be honest, it's still bright enough for you to be able to see and park. Shouldn't be an issue, and you'll probably have your nose gear light on. And you've got 4 lights here producing light, but not an awful lot of it, which I find a bit surprising. So a little whiz across the ramp here. As I said, minimal lighting really. You can see more of the inside of the terminal from airside. That's really well lit. But it looks okay. It looks perfectly okay. I would expect to see this come up a lot more in the darkness, and we'll look at that in a minute. But as you can see, some of the buildings aren't lit, but they're easily discernible, so no problems there. Obviously, one of the things I do want to do is have a look at this bridge. Now, there are light poles on the bridge there that you can see. And that looks really nice. Get a bit closer. That's interesting. There's even the windsock on the bridge. But it's nicely lit and you can see the lamps. So a little close up of the bridge detail there, and how you can see the lamps either side of the roadway providing the light that we've just looked at. And it looks very pleasant, really pleasantly done. It's lovely, isn't it? It's very nice. So here we are, land side of the terminal, and again the lighting looks nice, but it's very lovely, beautifully done. Interesting little model there of a fish. I'm just going to go into the terminal through the glass here. And as you can see, more than adequate lighting. Looks very, very nice. It's really well done. Very impressed with it. And there we are. Quick look at the development here on the northwest side of the runway. You can see there's lighting been done there, which looks quite acceptable. Okay, so now we want to look at the terminal in the darkness of the night and see if there's any improvement in the lighting. Okay, 11:30 at night, and this is probably the darkest it's going to get. And as you can see, the lighting has come up a little bit, not by much, but let's get down to the ramp, airside ramp parking area here in front of the terminal and have a look and see just how bright this is. So as you can see, it's pretty dark still. There isn't an awful lot of lighting. I don't know what it's like in the real world, never been to this airport. Perhaps some of you who have might be able to comment on this. But the airside ramp here, parking area, is lit, but not that much. So you are going to be relying on your nose gear light to help you follow the center line. Okay, you've got a couple of green lights there to show you where the center line is, but it's really not a lot. So just a different shot here showing the taxiway. Again, green lights coming off the runway, taxiway lights, and you've got the light showing your center line. So you're going to be relying on your nose gear light quite a lot to help you log in here quite safely. I mean, generally overall it doesn't look too bad. Interesting thing is here that these lights, exactly the same as these, seem to be providing more light than you're getting at the stands, partly because of the construction here of the jetways. But as I say, even at 11:30 at night in the summer months here, you've still got some semblance of sunset, but it is very dark. The bridge looks beautiful, and the whole area looks quite nice, to be honest. So just after 5 AM in the morning, we brought the light up. As you can see, all the lights are kind of gone out. Just wanted to have a look and see what this looks like. Such a beautiful location. And there you can see the airport bathed in the early morning sunrise. Looks very nice indeed. Okay, 7 AM, and there we are. The sun's well up, as you'd expect it to be this far north. So let's wrap up this review and I'll give you my thoughts. Do I like it? Yes, I do. It's very nice. It's a lovely airport, big enough to serve most of the aircraft you might want to fly here. There's a lot of detail as indicated by the file size, over 8 gigs here. So it's not just the airport, you've got the inside as well, the bridge, and a lot of the outlying area has been modified and developed, and it's in a beautiful location, as you can see. I think the airport is really nice, and I'm certainly going to fly in here in the summer months. It's going to be great. It'd be lovely to fly in here in weather like this. Just beautiful. So the plus side's its location. The detail is really good, particularly the internal detail in the terminal. Lots of good detail, very little repetition of models, which is good. All the vehicle models are great. One or two little anomalies. As I say, we've got a vehicle down here that sits off the ground a little bit, and there's another building over here somewhere that's sitting off the ground. Just real elevation issues that I think are just little things that have been missed. But it all looks great. The lighting, I'm not sure if the lighting is as powerful as it should be. Again, that's something that somebody who knows this airport well can tell me if the lighting is accurate. It does look a little bit on the dim side, particularly at dusk when you're trying to get into the terminal and park. You can see these lines well defined during the daytime, but everything gets just a bit too dark at night for me. Although you shouldn't have too much of a problem finding your way around. And as I said, the only other anomaly to me is the terminal building construction. There's this little arc structure attached to the terminal that I see in many photographs and that's on the charts, but that doesn't seem to be here in the final rendition of the airport. Perhaps somebody could clear that up for me. I'm assuming that this has all been newly rebuilt and constructed, and that this arc which is supposed to be here has been taken away. Somebody could confirm that in the comments. That would be brilliant. So there you go, Tromso in Norway, Echo November Tango Charlie by M&M Simulations. Downloads 3.2 gigabytes and it installs at just over 8 gigabytes. Do I think it's worth the price? Yeah, it is just about worth the price when you get this sort of detail that's been added to the airport, particularly inside. The signage is stunning, even up close. The departure boards and all of the other bits and pieces, you can read them right up close. So the work that's been done, I think, certainly is reflected in the price. 22 euros or just under 23 euros, I think, is perfectly acceptable. Okay, you get people like Ply Tampa that are doing airports, and Pyro Dev Company that are doing airports like this with a lot more detail, and their price is a bit lower. But I don't think it's quite fair to compare those two. M&M Simulations have done a good job. They've done a lot around the airport as well as on it, and that's indicated by the file size. And so the price, I think, is about right. So it's available from SimMarket and Orbix. The price is slightly higher on Orbix, a little bit lower on SimMarket, but again, just beware of the VAT tax, which will depend where you buy from from which country you're in, as to where you purchase this airport. So this is Lee winding up another review of Tromso Airport in Norway. Beautiful place, gotta go here, no question about it. Thoroughly recommend this airport. Thanks for joining me on this review, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next one. So this is Lee, Virtual Airline Pilot, saying bye for now. See you in the next video. Have a great week. Bye bye for now.